Growing up, I had my mum. She did a pretty awesome job trying to raise us on her own. Had an older sister and 3 younger brothers. Mum had a lot of partners, so we were exposed to all sorts of things, from drugs and alcohol, abuse. Watching Mum go through all of that, you know, she's a pretty strong lady and she's a survivor, she's a fighter, and I think that's instilled in us kids too. You know, at the age of 14 is when I probably started trying to get into things that my friends were into. You know, like alcohol from an early age, drugs, marijuana, those sorts of things. Boys. At 14, I had an 18-year-old boyfriend. You know, my mum was pregnant at 14. My sister got pregnant at 14. Even though I was getting mixed up in these other things, I'd hoped that that there was something better out there for me. And then I fell pregnant with my first child, and I was just coming up 21, not in a great relationship, and kind of thinking, what am I going to do with my life? Did I want to follow the circle of my family with my mum and my sister and, you know, have this baby, or is there another way out? I decided, no, I would keep Ra. And I went back to school, did my first year, was really proud of what I did there and balancing being a solo mum and studying full-time. Then I met another guy, fell head over heels in love, and then I fell pregnant again. And I kind of felt like I was at this another crossroads again. You know, I've got one child, I've got another child now that is on the way. Maybe not too sure, thinking about how could I handle this? How am I going to handle being a solo mum with 2 kids? And so I really thought hard and long about this. I decided that maybe abortion was the only way out. And when I was at university, I ran into this girl. I said to her, look, I don't know what to do. I'm already a solo mum. I think I'm going to have an abortion. Would you come with me? I've made the appointment. And as we were walking, she said to me, can I pray for you? And I was like, if you want to, it's a bit weird, but in my head I was thinking that's a bit weird. But yeah, you can pray for me. This piece of paper landed right by my leg, and in big bold letters it had the words life and death. And I just looked at it and I was like, oh, well, that's pretty freaky. That's definitely a sign for me. And so I decided right then and there, I was like, okay, I'm going to take this as a sign, God, that you want me to keep this baby. The girl who prayed for me in the park, her mum actually said to me, I'd really love to adopt a baby. I just had a real peace that she was the lady I was going to adopt out to. So to know that there was something better out there for me all along, and I just didn't know what it was until I connected with God. That's just brought so much richness to my life, so much depth to my life, that when things aren't going well, I can draw on those things, and I can do anything. 6 months after I had Josiah, I met Edward, met at church, and it's funny how God works, because I wasn't looking for a man at all. I just thought to myself, you should be running, mate. You should just take off and run now. You don't know what you're getting into. We dated for about 2 years, and then we eventually decided that, you know, we would like to take it to the next step, and so we got engaged and then got married. Mum rings me and she says, oh, I was walking down the main street of town and I ran into the guy that I think is your father. And she said, look, I've told him about you. I've told him that I think you're his daughter. So I sent a DNA kit to get my mum and potential dad to be tested. And it said that this guy is 99% your dad, 99.9% your dad. And I just looked at the results, and I just remember breathing deeply and thinking, wow, I've got a dad, a real dad. At my wedding, I had my dad on one side and my brother on the other side, and we walked down the aisle, and yeah, for me, that was such a surreal moment. When you've had so much chaos going on in your life, it's really nice to have, or it's really neat to be able to connect or have someone come and invade your life like God, and he kind of shakes things up and turns them around for good. So it kind of makes you do a 180 in the other direction. There's nothing too big, nothing too small that I can't do with God.